Hey, everyone. I'm Drew. This is Kat. This is C. Wood. We're going to be talking about.
Wait, what about me?
Well, you don't count.
Okay.
So
he's busy eating buffalo tuna. If you're wondering, it's BKR90 over there as well. We are going to talk about all of the entertainment, tertiary to comic book stuff that we are enjoying right now. We got a couple folks in the chat. Ben Compton was in here, as well as Chris Barrett. Good to have you guys. Carson, I will be deferring to you for all chat matters from this point forward. How you doing tonight, buddy?
It's gonna be some tough work tonight. This chat, Woo, it's popping over there. But other than that, just happy to be here. Just ready to talk about some Titans season 2. I didn't get a chance to put my thoughts in last week, so I got, I guess, 2 weeks worth of thoughts. So looking forward to that.
Double duty Titans talk. Kat, Mark, what is going on over there?
I'm carb loading for tomorrow's run.
Can you taste the fear?
Oh, I can taste the fear with buffalo.
If you didn't know, tomorrow is September 20th, aka the Area 51, I guess, fun run.
5K fun run.
Gonna go get some aliens. I'm not, but a lot of other people are gonna die tomorrow.
Hold on, I'm not. I'm prepared. I got the good shit.
Mark is all ready to run from the government and get himself some aliens.
He's just gonna serpentine it. Oh god!
Gotta just narrate to run dodge them bullets, right?
Look, we covered this one outside the issue during Game of Thrones, but if you're running from something that's going to be launching arrows and or bullets at you, serpentine is the way to go. Rickon, you fucking idiot.
You didn't know to serpentine.
Oh, Rickon.
Rickon couldn't figure out how to run in a serpentine pattern.
No.
Him and Charlize Theron from Prometheus. They both, all she had to do was run left or right. That whole power wouldn't have fell on her.
Let's go this way.
Each other screwed.
Don't worry. There's going to be a hot
run away.
Yep.
Oh god.
It's okay. Once you make it past like the first 5 feet, you still have like another 20 miles before the first gate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, I for one hope that you don't die. I hope that buffalo tuna carries you to victory.
Just look for one of the bigger people running with you and then shoot him in the leg. And that's what I learned from, what's his name, from Walking Dead. Shane. Shane got that guy. Otis. He killed Otis off. That's the way he did it.
Yeah,
dumb
he did.
Stupid Otis.
Yeah.
What a dummy. Shouldn't have shot Carl in the woods.
No.
Should have. Anyway, back to outside the issues, though. I'm going to keep
do you think Judith was really Shane's baby?
I don't know. I never really talked about in the books, and she got shot through her mom's stomach by the governor. I never really got a chance to address that one.
That's true.
Yes, Chris Barrett, this might be my last supper.
I don't know. He's a really good runner.
Left, right, side to side.
Yeah, you don't have to be the fastest. You just have to be faster than the slowest bullets. There's something.
You just have to know how to duck between people.
Yep.
Oh my! Oh well, I hope you have good opportunities to hide behind other bodies. That will be the best for you. We got 6 watching. Let's go ahead and jump into these issues that we're going to be outside of today. First thing we were going to talk about is Titans Season 2. We've gotten 2 episodes so far. Seawood, you weren't here last week. Why don't you go ahead and let us know what you thought of Episode 1, Season 1, and Episode 2 as well, as that all came out since the last time we spoke to you.
Man, all I know is I think you guys hit the nail right on the head last week. I think you specifically, Drew, I agree with a lot of your points where you said like that whole first part of the episode last week felt like that's what the season finale for last season should feel like. It felt like you're almost watching the last episode, and all of a sudden, I don't know if they had like a change of direction or they had a change of episode order or what, But all of a sudden you had Trigon, and then he's just done. You're done with Trigons for some reason already. And even though he was this like kind of gross looking CG monster, that I guess that's probably part of the reason why. So I felt like that was pretty rushed. Even though like I kind of wish they would have went faster through like having to see each character get possessed by Trigon. I was kind of burned out on that pretty quick once you figure out what's going on with Starfire. Didn't really need to see the rest of the characters play out after that. But on the other side of the coin, I am really enjoying the cast and the way they're portraying the characters for the most part. Even a little bit Starfire this season. She was like my least favorite from last season. This season so far, it seems like I guess we're getting less Starfire, so maybe in her case, less is more. But so far in the newest episode, I enjoyed it a little bit more. Especially, I think my favorite part was actually Starfire and Donna Troy hanging out in the back of a van eating donuts.
Teaming up.
Looking for, criminals. Shimmer, yeah, her name
Taking
is
down
Shimmer.
Shimmer.
What
You had me at-
you need?
You had me at donuts.
Yeah, donuts, beef tacos.
You had me at beef tacos.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed seeing them hunt down Shimmer. You get the Roy Harper tease with the phone calls. You knew that was having to come. But the whole, and then you have Robin seeking out. He finds Rose Wilson, stumbles upon her. Then the other kids find out that's Deathstroke's daughter, as we all of his readers kind of knew that was coming. So look forward to seeing what they kind of have to do with that. I thought it was kind of funny that like Dick just like he goes outside his door and like there's Rose Wilson, but I guess he is protege to the world's greatest detective, so I will oversight that. But other than that, I'm still waiting for my boy Connor. If we'll have to wait 3 or 4 more episodes, I'm going to be mad. But so far, it's
Connor and
okay.
Crypto.
Not great television. It's okay television, but my hopes are high for when we see Connor and Crypto make the debut officially.
Now, my question to you would be about the Trigon. I know we talked about it at length last week, but I kind of wanted your take. Do you prefer that they at least gave us a CG Trigon with multiple eyes and demon hooves and all that, as opposed to just keeping it a guy in a suit? Because you could see that I originally thought, they're just going to give us the guy in the suit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a mixed bag on it myself. I go into the wrestling realm for a second. Gotta go to the mind of Paul Heyman and his ECW documentary. And even in my life, I try to do this. He says, accentuate the positives and hide the negatives. If you can't do like a nice, awesome looking CG monster Trigon, then do you need to attempt it at all? Maybe you don't. But then I think about the Wonder Woman movie, and then you have this like basically Greek god, and instead maybe they saved on budget there, and it was just some dude in a suit the whole time for the most part. So it could go either way. I mean, I just at the end of the day, I just didn't care about the Trigon stuff as much as we probably should have, considering that's what that whole season finale built up to. I just felt like the pacing was completely off on everything they tried with Trigon. So I don't think it was a problem with, it was lackluster CG, but I'm honestly used to that from watching all the CW shows anyway, so it doesn't really bother me that much.
I thought it was kind of a step up from what the CW stuff has been.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that it was a bold choice on their part to do it in like broad daylight.
Yeah.
If it was a nighttime scene, you wouldn't have seen as many flaws in the CG.
Yeah, I think it should have been at
There wouldn't have been as many lighting issues with it.
If they showed up at night, wouldn't have been too far of a stretch to still be night when that fight happened.
Yeah, I absolutely don't disagree at all. I think that though, I was happy that they at least attempted to give us Trigon in the traditional sense, as opposed to just leaving it a dude in a suit, which they could have done quite easily. Just had his eyes glow weird, or had it cut to some base animation kind of overlaid over him. But I enjoyed it. And I think you hit the nail on the head. You were talking about how it was a complete shift in tone. And I think that's going to give us something new to look forward to in the coming episodes. I'm with you. I want Crypto. So bad. I can taste it. I can taste his furriness.
I say, give me that spinoff now.
Right.
Yeah.
Connor, meh. I'm not as big a Connor guy as you
It's
are.
all about the crypto.
I'm all about crypto.
Now,
I would
want some
rather it be
crypto.
John.
I want
You
some
know,
Ace.
I would rather it be Superman's real son and not his
I will,
bastard
I will state this. If I'm getting Connor, I really, really wish I could get Cassie and Tim along with Connor because I've been reading that Titans. I know we're not supposed to talk about comics, but when I see the dynamic between Superboy, Robin, and basically Wonder Girl, I need Connor, Tim, and Cassie. Those are the three that I think are the best trio compared to like we're probably going to get Connor, Dick, and maybe Don in there.
Yeah, we're not going to get.
What happens with
We're not going to get Tim.
I know. That's
and
what
I really
it.
do enjoy the way that they've taken Jason and made him more of the Damian character.
Mm-hmm.
Like Batman's like, no, you need to go off with your older brother and learn some things, you know. And I like the fact that they've done that. I think that does take some sting out of the fact that we probably aren't going to be getting Red Hood anytime soon. But I hope that the show goes
They
on
already have
long
the
enough.
suit, though.
Yeah, I think that they probably have changed their mind on that. I'll be honest.
It's
Too young for the Red Hood character.
Right. I think that they're going to let the Robin thing play out for a little while longer until he gets himself killed, and it'll end up being, you know, Dick who didn't do enough as opposed to Batman who didn't do enough. We'll see. I don't know. I think there's a lot there that they have the room to play with, especially because I know you've been reading the Jeff Johns run of Teen Titans. I read that not so long ago. That right there is the Teen Titans that I want.
Yes.
But at the same time, I understand the way that they're kind of folding in what they have.
Oh yeah. I will ask this: like, what did you guys think about Dr. Light? I was excited for that.
I like the fact that they brought Dr. Light in, but I like the
Really?
fact that we really
Yeah,
don't know anything about it yet.
Right.
I love all of it.
I'm excited about it. Even the death scene with the kid that Hawk and Dove were trying to help out. I mean, just the sheer fact that Dove not automatically understanding what's going on, and then Hawk, it just clicks into his mind. He's like, we need to go. He's like, we can't help him. We need to get out of here. And he instantly is just like, it's Light. It's definitely Light. And, if you're a Titans fan at all, if, you're any way affiliated with any of these characters, you'll know Dr. Light. He's a bad dude. And if Dr. Light and Deathstroke are both going to be featured in this season, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome too, because I was kind of worried about the oversaturation of like all these heroes introducing. So I had no idea Dr. Light was even going to be a part of the series. So I definitely think like they need at least a couple villains to get this going, because I mean, there's going to be such a big roster that even for Deathstroke to be up against all that, the odds kind of need to be tipped in their favor of just a little bit. So I'm happy they introduced Dr. Light. I hope we haven't seen the last of Trigon too. That'd be cool if they brought him back somewhere down the line, because we really didn't get a chance to do anything in that premiere.
Well, we just gotta wait for Raven to have some sort of a meltdown.
Yeah,
He'll be fine. He's right there.
Right.
So he's always in their wheelhouse. They just need to break that glass and pull him out.
I think we can go without Trigon if we can find a way to turn Beast Boy into more than just a tiger this season, and I'll be okay with that. I like the Dr. Light stuff. I also really like the Hawk and Dove stuff that they gave us in these 2 episodes so far. I think Minka Kelly. Ain't nothing wrong with Minka Kelly.
All about that Minka Kelly.
I like watching her beat the crap out of meth heads. That's a good time. I would watch her do just about anything. If she wants to beat up meth heads, sure. She wants to read the phone book. I'm a fan of that too. If she wants to pick her toe cheese, I will be there to watch Minka Kelly pick her toe cheese. I'm just saying, more Minka Kelly is not a bad thing.
Drew, invite me over. I'm going to sit next to you, and we're going to watch the Minka Kelly.
I'm not sure if you'll be comfortable sitting next to me while I watch that.
I don't care.
Hey man, the more the merrier, but I'm just forewarning you here.
Bringing this back, one of the scenes that I really loved was the Titans actually in the tower, we get to see a little bit of a training session between Robin and Beast Boy. And of course, there's still a bit of tension between them because Beast Boy, he's not exactly over the whole, them practically beating him to death almost. Still not entirely over that. We also saw a little bit of that that relationship once again between Raven and Beast Boy. So I'm excited to see what that goes, continuing on. And Robin needs to earn the English Bat's trust back in order to go back home. Apparently, he's in trouble. We got to hang out with Big Bro for a little while. So I did like the fact that they explained that a bit more in this episode. So
I like the fact that he kind of won Jason over by being like, yeah, you are better than these kids. Show them that you're better than them. I love that. It's like a coaching technique. It's like, oh, I'm on a team with a bunch of losers. Yeah, we'll help those losers not be losers anymore. You're the one who has the ability to do that. I like the fact that they've done that with this Jason character. I don't mind Derek Jeter's sloppy seconds if they're Minka Kelly. So
Minka Kelly.
It's all about that Minka.
Speaking of that Jason character, we got the mailman Jason Smith in the chat. What is going on?
Media mail.
He's always happy to send that your packages media. We also got Rob Worst in the chat. Chris Barrett's still hanging out. Happy to see you guys in the chat. But going back to the Hawk and Dove stuff, I was kind of interested in that storyline because it seems like they've done a complete role reversal of Hawk and Dove, where now all of a sudden Dove is the aggressor when it comes to going out and fighting crime, and Hawk is just like, no, we're done with that. We're going to get ourselves killed. So
Hawk's 12 steps.
I like how Hawk was like, we remember we can't handle that. And she's like, no, bro, you can't handle that.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle it just fine. I'm Minka Kelly. Look at me.
Just say Minka Kelly, Minka Kelly.
Minka Kelly.
Minka Kelly.
And I'm pretty sure Beast Boy and Raven, they never have luck. So I think we're going to unfortunately see some destructive relationship things happen there. I hate to say it. I like both of them as characters, obviously, but yeah.
So,
I'm a fan of the kid who plays Gar. I'm just a little disappointed that we haven't seen a gorilla yet.
That big elephant in the room, Rose Wilson. What did y'all think of Rose?
I like the introduction of Rose. I thought that she's portrayed as capable yet unsure. I think that we're going to get more with her, and I think that the minimalist way that they've kind of introduced her is really cool. I think that the fact that we already know that she's Deathstroke's daughter, that's moving the story along. The fact that they know who Deathstroke is, well, at least Jason does. That's going to move the story along in ways that them not knowing who he is would slow things down incredibly. You have to get the introduction in there. You have to get the first face off and all that. I think that we can build to something worthwhile without even having to do a lot of that legwork. Just knowing that Jason at least knows who Deathstroke is through Batman's files. And that would be enough. Like, oh, well, I rifle through the back computer. This is one of the guys, blah, 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 blah. I think that's plenty to at least get us going, get us on that road. I think Rose looked good. I think the silver hair works. I think the fact that she's obviously missing an eye quite recently is another question that we can ask. And I think that her being standoffish really works to the mystery of this show so far. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, I was fine with, the whole Rose Wilson introduction. Like I said, the only little nitpick I had was like Dick opens the door of the Titan Tower and kind of just goes out and finds her in 5 minutes. But like I said, Protege, World's Greatest Detective, I'm cool with that. So there wasn't so much to see, rather to get me like hyped up or disappointed for the character. I'm more looking forward to hopefully seeing that origin story between her and hopefully Deathstroke, and makes me kind of wonder if they're ever going to, bring up Jericho at all, if he's going to be involved with, the whole origin there, how she lost that eye to begin with, because it looks like it's fairly fresh, wound because it was still
You
bandaged.
ever read that story?
Eye patch. Which one?
The story where it tells her actually
Yeah,
cutting
that's
out her
what
own
I
eye.
just
That's
got to
amazing.
Yeah,
But,
so I'm looking
Cutting
forward
out
to
her own
seeing.
eye.
Yeah.
I'm guessing since Johns is a producer on this show,
Trying
it's
to
going to be kind of
impress
close
Deathstroke.
to his run and how she lost that eye. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what her origin version is going to be here in Titan.
This version.
Shout out to our missing yet fearless leader, Chad Chatterson. He is having some personal issues
Chad
he's dealing with
Chadberger.
right now. Chadberger, you want to call him? Well, whatever's popping, he loves Nightwing 93. And we get some talk in the chat about Tarantula maybe showing up in Titans. I don't know if it's that kind of show, but that would really make Chad's day. I can tell you that much right now.
Overall, I think all the Titans are starting to come together. I think everyone's looking a lot better than what they were in the first season.
First season was amazing with costuming. Let's be honest.
Anywho, I was very disappointed leading into this. I was really concerned with Rose and how she was going to be portrayed. That being said, I'm much more hopeful after this episode. And I will tell you, my girl Starfire, she's looking so much better.
First season was the best. Honey.
Her hair looks really great in this, and I'm excited to see.
I like the necklace
what
joint thing that
exactly-
she's got. It's a really good callback to her costume. I think that that's done subtly and done well. And I'm excited to see what they do with her and her home planet, because you know that she's being
taken back.
hauled away because she is the princess who is missing or on the run or whatever the hell's going on with that. So,
I wonder what storyline they're going to go with that.
It's like, to me, it really doesn't matter as long as they take it off world and they take it seriously and they do it well. So
Look at old Dick all devastated on the corner there.
Well,
Cracks me up.
devastated Dick.
you know, she was still down
Well
to keep Dick Grayson as her side piece
More
when
dick.
she got married. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anywho, I'm excited about it. Tamaran is definitely a planet I am excited to see possibly. And I would really love to see Blackfire this season.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get that, but Coriander, if you don't know, Coriander's older sister, and depending on what storyline you're going with, she could just be a queen trying to protect her people, or she's a sadistic bitch.
Either way,
it's
I'm
there.
down. You have
Either way. But I'm super excited. I can't wait to see more of the Tamaranians and what exactly we have in store. So I love this episode.
You're just excited because Starfire is in the first episode of the first season. Great costuming.
She's not in her like costume yet.
Close enough.
I think honestly, if we'd get her in costume, it would be on Tamaran.
Yeah.
If we did get her in costume.
Yeah, true.
Apparently, we've got incoming very shortly. We might see another guest on the panel, so
Ooh.
keep your eyes
Okay.
peeled for that. We also got more mention here of poor Dick's devastation. Didn't Mirage also once disguise herself as Starfire to get with Nightwing?
Uh-huh.
Another weirdly dark portion of
Yes.
his life that couldn't work on the show. It could totally work on the show, Rob. It could totally work on the show. Come on.
Funny story
little
about that.
And then it'll be fine.
It was not treated like a Nightwing 93 situation. Starfire treated it as like he cheated on her situation, which, no, very Nightwing 93.
I agree.
Very Nightwing 93. But anything else on Titans?
I'm excited for where this show is going, which is more than I can really say about the first season when I was at this point.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll trudge through this until Doom Patrol starts and we get Swamp Thing. But I'm actually really excited for Titans Season 2. I can't wait to get home tomorrow and throw that on after work before we go off the rails, that is.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to every episode. Like when the first season hit, I'm just like, I guess I'll watch it. I paid for that DC subscription, so I may as well keep watching the show. But now I legitimately look forward to watching it every Friday. I'm really looking forward to seeing S.I. Morales' Deathstroke. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. Can't wait to see Connor debut and how the team's going to turn out to be. If they're going to involve the full Cadmus Labs storyline. And of course, you got to look forward to Crypto causing chaos in Titan Towers. So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
I'm excited.
Very excited.
All right, Kat, next you wanted to talk about some fan film goodness.
All right. So while, yes, as a horror fan, as a Friday the 13th fan, I'm heartbroken that we are still dealing with the ongoing lawsuit that is who in the world owns Jason Voorhees and the Friday the 13th franchise as a whole. So it's up in arms when we're actually going to get an official Friday the 13th film to continue on or to reboot once again or what have you. That being said, the horror community is not dead when it comes to Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees, because we just had on Friday the 13th, last Friday the 13th Vengeance drop, which is a brand new fan film here on YouTube. It is completely open, free to watch, full length film. That being said, it is age restricted because, there's nudity in there and a lot of violence.
A lot of boobies.
That's what Mark's excited about. I was actually very excited at some of the actors that they got in this.
I'm sorry. If you're watching the chat, Chris Barrett is a silly boy.
Yeah, I'm watching the chat. But if you are a Joe Bob Briggs Last Drive-In show fan at all, you'll know Marcy the Mail Girl, aka Diana Prince. She's actually featured in this film as well. And they definitely take their own creative take on the Voorhees family mythos. And they include some new characters. They include a lot of family members of past victims or, surviving, girls, the sole survivor. Not to mention a lot of Jarvis family members in this. So I'm not trying to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. It is available on YouTube. I would highly suggest it. That being said, there's a bunch of other fan films that have also been announced. Never Hike Alone, the Womp Stomp team, have announced that they have a prequel that will be releasing before the end of this year, as well as 2 sequels to Never Hike Alone that they are going to come out next year. So very, very excited about that, as well as 13 Fanboy, which is directed by Deborah Voorhees, star of the...
I don't know how many films
I forget exactly which Friday the 13th she starred in. She's the chick who takes the hedge clippers to the eyes. But she...
I don't remember that movie. I remember that imagery, though.
And, she's topless in it, so, there you go.
Yeah,
and anywho, 13 Fanboy is a crazy person who basically was raised watching Friday the 13th. So he is now going and trying to kill all of the actors from Friday the 13th. So we have Kane Hodder. We've got basically all the final girls in it. We have the actual actors. Corey Feldman's in this as well. It's spectacular. There's currently still an Indiegogo where you can actually get your own copy of the film before it's released. So I highly suggest checking that out. As well as the Fall of Camp Blood, which big shout out to me, shameless plug. I'm a missing person in that film. My missing persons poster's featured and everything. I'm so excited.
It's a picture of me, everybody, from tomorrow.
After the Alien Fun Run, Mark will be missing for quite some time.
He will be missing. Catrid might be collecting on an insurance policy, but that's another story.
It's the cliffhanger for Outside the Issues season 1. Where is Mark?
Did he make it? Did he not? We'll find out tomorrow.
He's either dead by the hand of
Yes.
federal employees or busy getting Nightwing 93'd by a bunch of aliens, one way or the other. It's going to be some time before we see Mark again.
Hey, so long as it's Minka Kelly, we'll be all right.
Minka Kelly. We need to make. I'm telling you right now, we need to make a shirt that says Minka Kelly, Minka Kelly.
I just want to.
Nothing but Minka Kelly.
I want to.
It's just like I said, cheap
give it to
trick,
Minka Kelly and be like, "Will you wear this shirt?" And she'll be like, "I don't want to wear that shirt." And be like, "Sure, can you put it on first before you take it off?"
Sure.
Oh,
Hey, Minka.
gosh. Oh gosh.
Now back to the Friday the 13th fan films. You shared the link for the one that you were talking about first.
Yes, for
The,
Vengeance.
Vengeance. And I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I did kind of flip through it. I did clip through a couple of clips of it, and the production value is right up there with every Friday the 13th that we've gotten recently.
It's good.
Yeah, it looks like a well put together movie. Like I said, I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing. I did flip through it, try to get some scenes of Jason, some scenes of some interesting stuff. I got a couple of conversations with the actors between them, and it was well portrayed as well. I will say that it is on my list of things to go back and check out, because as far as a fan film goes, very well put together. And one thing that you'll notice with a lot of fan fiction, as well as I'm noticing with fan films, at least your review of it, is that fans will go into so much more minute detail. Fans will take, well, his father's brother had this roommate who once, right? Whereas like a big studio is going to basically look at that and be like, nobody cares about the intricacies and the complications of connecting all these things together. He's a guy with a machete wearing a hockey mask. Just let's watch him kill people. And I think with a fan film, you're going to get a lot more in-depth storytelling that relies on the story that has already been told. And I kind of dig that. And this is definitely on my radar now.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. I hadn't heard of it yet. So based on your description, I will watch that for sure now. That sounds awesome.
The link that I originally shared is no longer valid because so apparently the production company asked for it to be age restricted due to the violence and nudity in it, and YouTube didn't, but it's back up, it's fixed, it is now age restricted. So if you'd like, I can put a link down later on in the description after this video, and we can have that to where everyone can just click ahead.
Guys, if you're watching this right now live, be sure to come back and watch it again on the rewind just to check out the description. Give us a nice thumbs up and watch this movie that Kat's telling you about. We're going to give you free tickets to everyone watching to see this movie that's free on YouTube. So
yeah,
just another great giveaway from us here at the Concord. We also have some news in the realm of Japanese cockfighting between cartoons.
Monster fighting.
It's the same damn thing. It's the same. You know what? If you ask the house elves in Harry Potter if they enjoy making everybody pudding magically, they're going to be like, no, I don't like that. And if you ask Pikachu in his language if he likes shocking a Charizard for the amusement of those around him, I'm pretty sure he's going to be against it. So as an animal rights advocate, I have to go no on Pokemon. That's just how I fall on this political spectrum. But Kat, as a fan of the senseless violence between animals that is Pokemon, we got some news in that arena.
As a 90s child who...
Whoa. You were 2 years late to the 90s child, my friend.
I'm in the 90s.
Close enough. 2 years late.
Why are you saying 2 years late?
Because I was born in 90.
Well, Mark has his
I'm the same age as Harley Quinn, everyone.
Very stringent. You
have to be 90, 1990? No. Anywho, as a 90s child, I grew up watching Pokemon. I played my Game Boy. I had Red. I was very excited about it. I had the cards. I had the little figures. Loved it all. Pokemon 2000. Detective Pikachu recently came out. If you haven't already watched it, shame on you because it's fantastic. It's available for Blu-ray. Highly suggest. I'm going to take that off the screen because it was distracting me. But huge thing in the show front. Even if you didn't like the Sun and Moon, the Alolan region, the artistic change, because, the art style completely changed from the previous seasons. Ash Ketchum is now officially a Pokemon Master. Because after 22 years of being 10 years old and battling with his pocket monsters, because yes, that's what Pokemon are, he has officially won an actual Pokemon League. So yes, I know people who were going to be like, but what about the Orange Isles and all that? That was a tournament. That was not a league. You did not have to go through all of the different steps in order to qualify for that he had to for the Alolan Region League. So super excited about that. It is not in English yet. Unfortunately, I read very bad subtitles as I was rewatching that scene.
Learn some
YouTube.
Japanese then.
No,
all
I'm too
I know-
old for that.
All I know is I've been wrestling with my pocket monster since I was 10, and nobody has given me any credit for it.
Look, honey, you were the person I was making fun of in the 3rd grade.
She was the only person?
No.
Like,
I didn't know you in the
Okay.
3rd grade.
it's like everybody else is cool. That Caitlin, nah.
Nah, everybody
Okay.
else was collecting Pokemon cards. I'm like, why are you guys walking around with these cards? It doesn't make any sense.
It
I
doesn't
could
make
say
any sense.
something,
Now
but
they
that
stare at their
didn't
phones
work.
and walk into
With
traffic.
a bowl full of tuna sitting over the shoulder. Like, that's
Mhm.
friggin' wild caught tuna. It's so
Yep.
much better than your stupid Pokemon card.
If you,
know,
had
I-
wild caught Pokemon, I'd put buffalo sauce on it and eat it.
Just say, if I'm going to get a
Pokemon.
Pokemon, it better be wild caught.
Exactly.
Farm raised BS.
Farm raised Pikachu nonsense.
Nope.
None of this laboratory nonsense, Professor Oak.
Yeah, see, when you were walking around collecting Pokemon cards, I was out in the woods hiking and adventuring.
Yeah.
I'm
Pokemon kind of missed
my
me.
comment.
There's a few things that 90s kids love that really missed me because I'm more of a 85 to 95 kid. Like a cross generational. Like I missed the Power Rangers. I missed the Pokemon. I had the Pogs, and
Power
I'll take
Rangers
you all
are
to school
amazing.
when it comes to slammers. But Pokemon did
Oh, no.
it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
No,
There
so
you go.
Got some new
cards
Pokemon
today.
cards. Brand new Pokemon cards.
Well, what'd you get? We're gonna open these live on the air or what?
Oh yeah.
That's how you get the subs.
Yes, we're gonna do some live little unboxing.
What's
We're
happening
gonna
to my
make the
flight?
screen. We're
I
gonna
need to
make
go
the
to
screen
Nevada.
big so we can see both
Get them
those
shiny.
Pokemon
Yep,
cards
there
and
we
Mark's
go.
reaction.
And Mark's disappointment in
Yes.
me. Yes.
Oh man, this is
All
good
right.
stuff.
So I picked up 5 packs because I like the number 5. That's my favorite number. Yeah, Mark makes fun of me because I have a favorite number. But
Hey, Mark, for your family budget, at least her favorite number is not 47. You could have 47 packs of Pokemon cards.
You know, she said she was going to buy more, so it might be 47
Probably.
here in a little bit.
Just 5 at a time, though. So there'll never be 47. There'll be 45, and then there'll be 50.
I know, it's the worst.
all right. Oh yeah. All right. So I got a hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot!
Hoot hoot.
Nice.
'Cause
I'd like to see
awesome.
Mega Kelly's hoot hoot.
Yeah, I agree with
Bring
that
it
one.
full circle.
I got a Railu,
Oh, okay.
and it's holographic.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Lucario was a little buddy there.
And then I got an unidentified fossil card.
Ooh.
So
What does that
yeah.
do?
Well, it's when you're buried in the backyard and you don't tell her about it, they'll
Hush.
become fossils.
Hush. According to this, you play this card as if it were a 60 HP basic Pokemon at any time during your turn before your attack. You may discard this card from play. This card cannot retreat.
See, in the game, you take it to the little
So,
archaeologist dude, and you get a Pokemon out of it.
so totally, you can
Whoa.
You can protect your Pokemon with that.
Whoa. We got some knowledge being dropped in the chat right now. Rob Worst wants to know what's the most expensive and or rare Pokemon card. Chris Barrett says it's a PSA Gem Mint 10 first edition Shadowless Charizard. What? You guys know about that Shadowless Charizard? He ain't got no shadow.
I
He's
don't
worth
have the
$2.
Shadowless Charizard. I have a couple PSA Pokemon cards. I got an Eevee and, I got the Mew from the movie.
There you
Things
go.
like that. So,
There you go.
all right.
You
So
gotta
my
get you a
next
Shadowless
pack.
Charizard.
It's really expensive. I'd rather buy
Maybe it's in one of those packs you got there.
some crazy. I guarantee it's not.
Oh, is it more
But
Mylar?
I'd rather buy more camping gear.
no, I got a Gibble
No. Oh, Gibble.
because
You
he's
can camp with
adorable.
what you've got, Mark. We need Gibbles.
We need more Gibbles, Mark.
Mark, I can't wait till your insurance policy goes toward Pokemon cards.
All right, so I got a Lickitung.
A what?
A Lickitung. This is an actual Pokemon.
You're gonna lick a tongue?
It's a Lickitung.
As long as it's mine, sure.
Oh gosh. Anywho, and my trainer for this one is Dark City. Basic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents have no retreat cost.
Oh.
There's that.
Because in the
So you
Dark
don't have
City,
to
no
take
one
on
can
any
see you
kind of
run away.
damage. All right, so my third pack.
Oh no! How many packs did you buy?
I told you I had 5.
Five.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
on
we
3.
covered this.
All right, we already dealt with this.
We are almost halfway through, Mark. Settle down.
All right. I got
I need more
a
vodka.
Bonsuite. If you know the Alolan region, you know this actually belongs to one of the main characters of the Sun and Moon show.
That's too sweet.
So Bonsuite, she's really, really cute in the show. I'm just saying. All right, so next, my trainer for this, little holographic trainer. That's awesome. I got Grimsley. Move up to 3 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. You may
Sounds
only
like a
once
complicated
put a
game.
card. All right, so basically, you can use this to try to knock out someone else's Pokemon, whatever. Move
Mm.
whatever the thing is. And then my
Is there a
last one
card
in
that you
this,
can jack all your Pokemon up on steroids?
I'm sure there is.
I want like
I mean,
HGH fueled
We
Pokemon
have like
Ivan
super
Drago and Rocky
potions and
4.
such like that.
Just like on like the like on a treadmill with a bunch of wires hooked up to them, feeding them a bunch of Russian steroids.
Yep.
I want to do that to my Lickitung.
Just don't play the Apollo Creed card. It'll get destroyed.
That Apollo Creed card is going to die of
Yeah.
brain pain.
So this is a Relicanth. This is a Relicanth.
Really can't see not this right now because you're laughing so hard. I get you.
I love this Pokemon's attacks because its 2 attacks are Water Pulse and Deep Sea Boring.
It's not only surface boring, it's also deep sea boring.
Deep Sea Boring.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so I got 2 more packs.
I've been watching
Pack
Mark
number
this whole
4.
time.
If it will open.
Do you need some help there?
No, because you're gonna rip it in half.
Barrett said that was
Yeah.
a good pull because it's a full art trainer.
It's
By the way, we
nice.
had DS Comics in the chat earlier.
DS
What's going
Comics
on,
was in the
DS?
chat.
Yeah.
He saw all the Pokemon talk and he left.
Yeah, he left pretty quickly.
He was like, "Where are the Golden Age books?" Oh wait, wrong day.
Yeah, you missed that show. But there's always the rewind after the
Oh
show.
yeah, there's a
Hopefully
rewind where
all
you
the
can watch
stuff.
all about
Yeah, he's
Lickitung.
still here. What's going on, DS? Glad you're still here, man. Hope you're enjoying the cards.
All right, I got a Wimpod.
Wimpod,
Ooh, names these.
Well, I mean,
some Japanese guy.
they kind of
Why are you
run
covering
out.
my face? My
of-
expression-
Yoshihiro Pokemon.
They kind of run out of names after a certain point. I can name the original 150, but
You name
After that,
150 of them.
Back when catching
They're
them all was
Poke
not a
Raps.
pipe dream.
there are entire Poke Raps just to name them all.
Does that mean
Anywho,
pocket wraps?
Maybe.
this one's totally Mark's Pokemon. So this is a Sackcloth, aka
Why are you
Sloth.
covering my face?
Because your face is in the way.
Yeah, we need less glare and less mark face.
We need less mark face for this one.
Look at it this way, Mark. At least it's not Digimon.
No.
What is that?
Digimon.
Oh, Digimon. I know the
Back
answer to
and
this.
forth,
Digimon is the GoBots to the Pokemon's
Yes.
Transformers.
Yes.
There's Transformer Pokemon.
No,
No.
unfortunately.
But kind of yes. They're called Digimon.
They
They
evolve and then they de-evolve in between fights. I remember that much. I watched the first season of it and I was like, no. Anywho, even as a child, I was like, no. But I got a Jinx.
Yomi Coke.
What is
No,
that?
you
Is that
are mean.
whoa? Is that like the Bruce Jenner of Pokemons?
It looks like it.
It's the Caitlyn Jenner of Pokemons.
No, it's Bruce Jenner.
It used to be the Bruce Jenner of Pokemons. Now it's the Caitlyn Jenner of Pokemons. I'm just saying that Jinx seems like he's up to some no good, dastardly gender bench tricks.
I know, right? All right, so my last pack. My husband is very disappointed in me right now. And it won't open for some reason. There we go.
Yeah, you want me to get my buck knife? I can rip it
No.
in half for you.
No.
No, we won't. We don't want to damage what
We-
could possibly
we
be
want-
a Gen-Ment Shadowless Charizard.
It's not going to be.
Not with
Anywho,
that attitude, it's not.
Hey, look, we got another Lickitung, my favorite.
I got another
Yeah,
Lickitung.
You can make them lick at each other's tongues.
Oh, God, don't give him ideas. Anywho,
So who is down for Baltimore?
Yeah, bring your.
I
lick
got
at
a Salvo.
Bring your lick.
Sazzle.
Salazzles. Salazzles.
Sazzle.
I'm gonna throw some salazzles at you.
Salazzles.
Sazzle.
Try to make a sentence out of all of these. Lick
Oh,
tongue and then
gosh.
salazzles all over.
So
Sazzle's your
I remember when
jinx.
Salazzle was that place where you go to the buffet. They had nacho cheese on the salad bar.
Sazzler.
Yeah.
The Salazzler.
The last card I got is a England? I don't know how to pronounce that one.
Elgium.
Elgium?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Psybeam.
He's
Psybeam's a
cute.
pretty good attack. Those psychics.
He's
Psybeam.
cute.
You don't fuck with the psychic Pokemon. They're
It's like the
pretty
goddamn Jean
I'm
Grey of
cute.
Pokemans.
Yeah.
I'm cute. That's a card.
Jean Grey Pokemons right here.
Don't be jealous of the Pokemans. Come on, Mark. You're better than
He's
that.
jealous. He's jealous.
None of those Pokemans
I-
have
I
the balls that
remember,
it takes to run into Area 51 and get shot like a dummy.
You know, on the bottom of the sign it says what
When
authorized of lethal force or something.
Yeah.
I mean, just ignore that. You'll be all right.
when Pokemon Go was a thing and it was everywhere, I would take my dog on about 9 walks a day because we had 8 different Pokestops within walking distance of our house. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I can hang out with Odin. Yeah, he got to the point where if I went to reach for the leash or my phone, he'd hide.
Yeah.
He's not a small dog.
So you knew
And
you'd be
he'd just
staring at your
hide
phone
underneath
one
the
day
bed
and
and
walk
get
both
stuck.
of you into traffic.
I
And they're
swear.
like, I swear
my
there's
dog-
a Pokestop around here somewhere. And then you both get hit by a bus.
My dog hears the word Pokemon, he runs
You're gonna make
to
him
this day.
he thinks that you're gonna make him try to electrocute some schnauzer on the street. He'd be like, Odin, I choose you. And he's gonna be like, for what?
God.
Yeah, this whole time she's telling me about like all these Pokestops, and I'm up there and I'm like, I'm in Alaska. I can't do anything about this to stop you from going outside.
You were in Alaska where they didn't even have Pokestops. That's poor Alaska.
Well, we got some Arctic Pokemon.
They had
Snowbird
Digimon
or something.
stops.
Or the one with like the 2-headed ice cream cone thing. That one's a pretty funny Pokemon. It's just got ice cream cones for a head.
I know what you're talking about. Oh
It's
my
okay.
God.
I was just so far in the middle of nowhere, you had to have an airplane to deliver your pizza.
I
And then
like
somebody got
some
eaten by a
of the
bear.
Pokemans. I like
Okay,
the
that was only
Pokemon named
once.
Mankey because he's like a karate monkey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
Mine's
need more
Eevee.
karate monkeys. I'm telling you that much right now.
All right.
If you guys want me to watch your content on the YouTubes, or if you're making your own comic book right now, you've got yourself a Kickstarter, if you're making a movie, any of these things that you want to do with yourself, with your entertainment, with you want me to spend my entertainment dollars, all I'm telling you right now, more karate monkeys, more karate monkeys is the key to pleasing me, and I think that we all need more karate monkeys in our life.
Carson, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Say karate monkey, I'm going to punch you in the face.
I am partial to some Chimchar. It's a monkey that throws fire at people.
Yick fire monkey. Yes.
Tail is permanently on fire. So that's the one I picked in Pokemon Diamond. So I always got to go Chimchar. He's hilarious. He makes a hilarious noise when you throw him out because he's on fire.
The kind of monkey, the kind of noise you'd expect a monkey to make if he was on fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. That's perfect. Any which way but loose.
Can we make like a Minka Kelly of Pokemon?
Oh God, I wish.
The Minka Kelly of Pokemon is an Eevee. Do you want to know why? Eevee has so many different evolutions.
Just do me a favor. AOK me some Eevee cards and don't ask me any questions.
Minka Kelly,
Eevee. You could have your Friday Night Lights Eevee.
Yes.
What the fuck is an Eevee?
Friday Night Lights Eevee. Yeah. Wait, can I get a which Pokemon would be Tim Riggins?
Did you guys just not hear? I was out and actually playing outside as a kid instead of looking at my Pokemon cards.
That's a lot of shade, Mark.
Yeah, it's probably
it's one of Kyle Chandler Pokemon. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like every 5 minutes.
Full eyes.
They're
Clear eyes, full heart.
Can't lose.
Growlithe. Oh, dude, I love some Growlithe.
Clear eyes, full hearts. Charizard, I choose you.
He gets real mad when his Pokemon loses. He's like, we lost to East again, damn it.
Michael B. Jordan Pokemon show up and they're like, yeah, well, I'm going to inexplicably be the human torch later in life. Let me ruin this show real quick.
The error in the game with the red Gyarados. I remember going back as a kid and intentionally not saving that game just so I could go and catch the red Gyarados.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's pretty
Like
crazy.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm so lost
right
right
like
now.
An hour or two.
It's all right. You want to talk more about Tim Riggins? We can do that. He was.
We can talk about Tim Riggins. I don't really know who Tim Riggins is.
Who is
you didn't watch Friday Night Lights?
No.
Oh, Kat, we got a homework assignment for you this week. All right, I'm going to learn more about
chat assignments.
Yeah,
you understand
learn,
like,
look, and this isn't a watch old boy assignment either.
It's not.
I'm going to learn more about monkey-based Pokemons, and you're going to watch Friday Night Lights, which is the wonderful story of high school football in Texas and Minka Kelly.
Actually, I know
Minka Kelly.
The dude from John Carter. John Carter and Mars, which if you haven't seen that wonderful movie that bombed in the theaters, it's like Zero Gravity. Tim Riggins fights aliens in space. What is not to love about that? Well, I'm telling everybody right now, watch Friday Night Lights and watch John Carter, Warlord of Mars, or whatever.
Oh, I know who Tim Riggins is.
Yeah, Tim Riggins is Tim Riggins. He's the man's man.
I watched John Carter just because he looked at the shirt off.
Yeah, he does look good with his shirt off. And you know what he looks better with?
Why I watched that movie.
He looks even better when he's shirtless with a Minka Kelly on his arm. It's like, I don't know how he automatically gets like 12,000 more cool points just by being the guy who, like, some producers are like, hey, pretend that he's banging Minka Kelly. And I'm like, I like this guy more already.
Minka Kelly.
That's why Kyle Chandler yell at people for
Kyle Chandler's great in that. He's just like, he's nothing but the best football coach ever. And when he gets home, his wife just owns him, and it's sad, but it's hilarious. It's a great show. It's a great show. Watch the Friday Night Lights, and then Michael B. Jordan shows up and ruins the whole thing. But beyond that, it's really good until then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a weird, like, let's hide a body storyline for some reason. That was probably like the dumbest it got. But that's a really good show.
What's dumb about hiding bodies?
It was just completely out of context.
If you ask Alexa.
No, because it was the nerdy kid.
Yeah.
What was his
Alexa,
name?
Turn off.
I can't remember. He was the guy who was in Breaking Bad and was an asshole.
I don't know. He was good. That kid was good on that show.
Yeah. And then it was the other girl who was Mockingbird in the MCU. I can't remember her name right this second. That happened.
Kelly?
She was the mother, though, wasn't she?
The mother?
Minka Kelly.
No. Are you talking about? Wait, who was Mockingbird in the MCU?
That's what I'm trying to think of her name. Anyway,
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. No, she was really good in the MCU. She wasn't in MCU though. She was in Shield.
Yeah,
It doesn't count.
Doesn't
That's
count.
why I was confused.
No, and
I was like, 'cause I love Mockingbird, but
yeah, she left the show to do the spin-off series that the pilot
and
didn't get
it never
picked up.
happened. Yeah, the pilot
Right.
didn't get picked up.
Right. She was good on that show too. I was a big fan.
Yeah,
She's a
I
worker.
guess since we got a few minutes left, we get to cover Legends topic real quick since he couldn't make it. He wanted to talk about some reboots. So, what do you guys think about reboots? Do you think they're a good thing or a bad thing or a middle ground?
Reboot for the sake of reboot in order to try to get people in the door to buy more of something or to check out more of something. I'm pretty much against. If you're just doing it just to slap a new number one on something, or to be like, oh hey, this is continuing on, like what Marvel did a few years ago, where in my Howard the Duck run, I had 3 number ones that were all in the same run. The story continued, and then it made it very awkward to try to arrange a short box and make it make any kind of sense, because they all had number ones on them. They were all in the same storyline. I thought that was some silly nonsense. But if it's a reboot and you actually have a genuine story and it's something that will continue on, I'm going to tell you right now, great version of that would be what happened with DC Rebirth. I would say that's probably one of the stronger reboots that we've had. I mean, it doesn't matter if you didn't like all the storylines or what have you, but we had a lot of issues from the New 52 to DCU where Rebirth was trying to fix a lot of that. So, I'm a DC fan, so a big shout out to DC and DC fans. Shameless plug.
I think it's a great idea to occasionally reboot your computer. It makes it a little faster. Just saying. I'm okay. I'm all for reboots right there.
I don't have a problem with a reboot as long as, and I think when Legend brought it up, he was thinking more along the lines of movies than comics, but I also don't mind a relaunch or renumbering of comics either. As long as what you're doing is something different, but in the same capacity. Like, I really love Chevy Chase and the Vacation movies, right?
Yeah.
Ed Helms' Vacation movie is not a Chevy Chase vacation movie, but it's still a fantastic comedy about a vacation, and everything that's supposed to be in there is in there. Legend was talking to Kyle Waka, Prince of New Zealand, shameless plug for New Zealand, earlier today in the Comic Core Facebook chat about Judge Dredd. And Kyle Waka is a huge Judge Dredd fan. And I think that Dredd was a much better movie than Judge Dredd starring Sly Stallone. I think that sometimes the reboots can give you something that you were missing the first time around. And a lot of that, I think, it has to do with the way that genre media is produced in this day and age. The Daredevil TV series on Netflix is a reboot of the Daredevil movie starring Ben Affleck. It is 110% better. And because it's treated with a level of respect by today's producers that the Daredevil movie, when it was originally produced, wasn't treated with. But in that same vein, it can be a detractor. Whereas I know Legends is a huge Dark Shadows fan. And I know that we got a Tim Burton Dark Shadows movie that was a send-up, a parody, more or less, in the same vein as the Brady Bunch movie, which when you look at the Brady Bunch TV show,
unfortunately,
the Brady Bunch movies are a joke about the Brady Bunch TV show. And you're either in on the joke and you enjoyed that, or you're not in on the joke and you're like, why are they making fun of my favorite TV show? It has so much different connotation to it when you're talking about something that's big budget, because a lot of that, you're going to take something that has nostalgia value. They're going to try to find a way to update it for modern audiences. in that respect, I'm actually all for a reboot. I can't wait. I cannot wait for them to reboot Batman. Like, for Christ's sake, just reboot Batman. Get me away from the Justice League BVS nonsense that they did in the last. Yeah, get me away from that. And I think that that's a good thing. At the same time, like, do we really want to reboot Aquaman too? Because that kind of worked for what it was. So there are a lot of things out there that I think a reboot is a great opportunity to get something fresh. We also talked about Terminator today. I think the new Terminator looks pretty darn good. But the past couple Terminators have not been so great. So maybe a direct sequel that like we're getting is something that wouldn't be nearly as good as if they just went ahead and rebooted the franchise, cast somebody else in the role of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and redid the first Terminator. Would that be a better movie? I don't know. You don't know. We haven't seen it yet. But you put Minka Kelly in the role of Sarah Connor, I'm gonna go see that movie. And that's all I know about that.
She'd probably do a better job than Khaleesi. For sure.
You know what? That didn't need to be a good movie. Okay, you can
well, mission accomplished there. That movie was horrible.
Okay.
Look, say what you want.
Watch Emilia Clarke because she's pretty.
I'll watch it on mute.
She is pretty, but she hasn't been good in anything but Game of Thrones. Let's just throw that out there right now.
You know, honey,
she was funny in Triassic Attack. That was her first movie.
Did not see Triassic Attack.
It's a sci-fi movie.
Is it a reboot?
But it's funny.
Should we reboot it?
Yeah, reboot her, recast her.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you, Drew. I mean, reboots are great.
Somehow you're going to dodge those bullets. You can't dodge me, but somehow you're going to dodge those bullets.
But yeah, I like the first 3 Terminators, but anything after that has failed so far, in my opinion. But you have reboots like John Carpenter's The Thing is probably like the best one that comes to mind. The 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake, phenomenal reboot. It didn't need to follow the exact script of the previous one. Yeah, absolutely. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, perfect example of how you take an average product and make it above average, in my opinion. So there are great examples of, reboots, but then there's like you said, you had Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton, but then there was the other Planet of the Apes after that. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So we could go on all day of just.
Sometimes you need to reboot to get back to
the
where
Addams
you want
Family.
to be.
Decent reboot in the 90s. So
yes.
I think that we're going to get another decent reboot again with the Addams Family. I'm happy for what that looks like.
The animation.
Now,
Star Trek.
Carson, I know you're a Turtles guy.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about the Michael Bay Turtles movies?
You know what? They were, I'd say, incredibly average. Like, I didn't hate them as much as a lot of people did. I got to say that. I think the best part of that first one was when they're taking that elevator ride, and I think it's like Mikey starts tapping on something, and all the other turtles, all of a sudden, they're just breaking out in music, and I thought that was really odd. That was the most Turtles thing in that movie. But honestly, if you can get past the dumb-looking CG and the noses that they have for no reason, it's watchable. It's okay. The second one was a little bit of a disappointment because they threw in Casey Jones just to have some guy named Casey Jones in there. And I was really hyped because it was, our boy from Arrow, Stephen Amell. And boy, he was not Casey Jones at all. He was barely Stephen Amell in that movie. It was, I don't know what he was, but he kind of sucked.
I haven't watched either
overall,
of those.
I thought they were okay. If you're a Turtles fan, I recommend at least sitting down on a rainy day, watching them somehow for free on a streaming service or what have you, and just seeing what you think. Because, honestly, I didn't think they sucked as bad as people gave them, discredit for. Sure, they had a lot of mistakes. Like, they should have just went full Shredder in that first one instead of having Shredder and then the other bad guy, whatever his name was.
Wasn't it Baxter Stockman stand-in kind of deal?
Kind of, basically. Yeah, they overbooked the territory, as legend would say, if he was
True story. Now, I haven't watched either of those, and I'll tell you exactly why. I sat down to watch the first one, the first of the reboots, the Michael Bay Turtles, on a streaming service for free. I think it might have been Amazon. And when somebody told me it was on there, and I loaded it up, and the selection right next to it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time.
Oh.
And I watched that instead.
Oh.
Just watch the ooze.
I will say this: Turtles 3 is a shitter movie than either of the new Turtles.
What? That
Yes.
movie's fun.
I mean, that movie's a fun drinking game, but
That's
it's
true.
not a good.
It's fun. It would be fun if someone can make a
I like
cut
that
of it
movie.
that's like 10 minutes long. It's just Casey Jones hanging out with those Asian dudes in the sewer. I would watch that movie. Anything that happened in like old Japan or wherever it took place, I didn't care. I don't want to see any
That
of
hurts
that.
my feelings.
I like Casey Jones.
I mean, I'll get
The
over
original
it,
Casey was
but
awesome.
I'm
But
pretty sure
Turtles
I'm gonna
1
take
is
you to
one of my
comic book
favorite
court.
movies of all time. Turtles 2, fun romp. Now there's a movie you can sit down, have a few beers, watch that. You'd be laughing. your
Turtles
ass
2 is
off all day.
amazing. Turtles 2 is
Phenomenal.
clearly the better movie out of the three.
Oh, so entertaining. I mean, you can
Turtles-
shit on it all
Turtles-
day,
I
people
like
can,
Turtles.
but oh my god, it's I see what you did there.
Turtles 3
but
just
yeah,
for the
amazing.
subway set at the beginning and the end of the movie is
I
amazing
mean,
to me.
they
As
didn't
a-
even give Splinter his bottom half in that movie. Like he just hangs out like inside the train, so the puppeteer didn't even have to try.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty
Cut,
lazy.
Never
cut
really-
the spending on
Oh, they cut some spending all right now.
cut the spending on Splinter's bottom half and give me some feudal Japan. I'm down. I like
I'm getting
Toads.
Batman Ninja flashbacks.
Mm.
I didn't watch Batman Ninja.
You know, Turtles.
It's very Shogun meets Transformers. If anyone's watched that, literally everyone shows up with like a Transformer style robot at some point. Which
That's
like
very
why?
Japanese.
Where do you find time to watch all these movies?
Oh, she actually quit her job months ago, Mark.
I knew it.
That movie's been out then.
All I
You've
know is
seen
when the
I've
new
seen
Rambo
it,
comes
yes.
out, Mark needs to go see the new Rambo wearing that vest in the theater.
You
He's
might
not
get
gonna go see the new
tackled.
Rambo.
I might get tackled
Look,
out of the theater.
At our theater.
I wanted to see the new Rambo so bad. I
looks
was like,
good.
"There's a new Rambo." The last Rambo was great.
It was.
Or, like that scene where he takes the mounted gun and turns it on the driver of the Jeep,
Oh,
and he's like,
God.
and there's like meat just flying everywhere. Fantastic. I watched the trailer for this new Rambo, and he's got like crossbow traps set up, and like he's murdering people left and right. And then I watched it. I saw it at work, and we don't have the TV sound on unless there's like a football game on. And then I saw it at home, and it had Old Town Road in it, and I was like, you know what? I'm waiting for digital for this.
You're holding your finger up, honey. Just say something.
I've never actually watched a Rambo movie.
You can leave.
Yeah, you can leave and go watch First Blood and Friday Night Lights because
I
Have you at least seen a
don't have
Rocky
time
movie?
for this
Have you
nonsense.
seen Rocky?
have you at least seen Hot Shots Part 2?
Have you seen Death Race 2000? Come on.
I've seen Death Race.
Nice.
I like the Death Race movies.
Have you
Have you
seen the
seen Hot
Stallion
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Stallone?
whoa, 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 whoa. Clarify this for me. Have you seen the original Death Race 2000 or just the reboot since we just covered reboots?
She only watched the
I've seen the
reboots.
No,
reboots. They're
no.
gory. They're
No,
amazing.
good movies
They're
don't have Jason
so
Statham. in them.
bad. They're
The
so
first
bad.
one
They're
is so
amazing.
bad. It's that's
They're
in the vein of the
so bad.
original.
They're amazing. That's
Stallone
wild.
eating a whole plate of spaghetti just because he's supposed to be Italian
Eh,
in Death Race 2000.
yeah.
It's worth at least one watch just so you can see how bad or good it is.
I'll turn
it's
it into
really
a drinking
weird.
game.
Yes, it should be a drinking game.
Our inflatable sharks is going to be a drinking game.
Yes.
It's
Every time
It-
you see
Well,
it.
Whoever doesn't
better
blow up the
be.
shark fast enough has to drink.
Yes.
gonna be along the lines of whoever gets bitten by an inflatable shark.
Has to drink.
Death
Yeah.
Race
True.
2000.
Yeah.
I always love drinking Star Wars.
So let's get back to the top. So Rocky, have we seen the Rocky movies?
Yeah, I've
Good. Okay.
I've
I
seen
wanna
the
make
last
sure.
few.
The last few. What about the first one? The one that
Creed's
started
the-
it all?
Creed's don't
that's
count.
The one, that's the one where he runs up the stairs, right?
That's like all of them.
It's not my it's not my style film. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm being honest.
It's all right.
I thought I was among friends. I thought I could be honest.
You can be honest.
You're
I appreciate
we
the
are.
honesty.
Yeah. It's okay.
Mark is questioning a lot of his life decisions now, but you can be honest
He
with that.
married me on
Yeah, well,
purpose.
Mark will play a Pokemon card game with you if you.
You should have sat down and made sure that you watched Rocky IV first. If you can't defeat communism from your own couch, then what really can you do?
Didn't you try that in Red Dawn?
Rocky III is like probably the worst movie, but it also has it also has Mr. T in it.
Mm-hmm. Clubber Lang.
Clubber Lang. Perks.
That is a perk.
Sharks.
No, there are no
Does
sharks.
he box a shark?
No, but he boxes. He kills
he boxes
Apollo Creed.
Thunderlips.
Oh no, wait, no, he doesn't kill Apollo Creed. He Drago kills Apollo Creed because the power of America can't beat Soviet steroids. That is the truth.
Yeah, if your only experience is Rocky V, then I'm so sorry.
And the only thing that you can do when the Soviets kill your friends and threaten to kill you is you got to go into Siberia and you got to train with some logs, and then you'll be golden. That's really all there is to it. Turn your back on your candy dispensing robot and go to Siberia and lift logs.
Happy birthday, Polly.
Happy birthday, Polly.
I love those movies.
Those movies are fantastic. You're gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Burgess Meredith. Oh man, if he wasn't the Penguin, his greatest role would definitely be Mick. But if you don't, I mean, Burgess Meredith is one of the greatest character actors of all time, and him as the Penguin and those Batman 66 shows
Serpentor.
Just absolutely fantastic.
Trying to take down those G.I. Joes.
G.I. Joe, another movie that didn't reboot when it put out a sequel and fucking should have.
You know what? That second G.I. Joe movie, it's not that bad.
That first G.I. Joe movie,
first one sucked.
Here's the deal, though. If you watch that first G.I. Joe movie, right, with the concept that it is a movie for 8-year-olds to sell action figures, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
If you watch it and you expect anything more than that, it's your fault for being a dummy. But it's wonderful how they put the Rock in something to kill off all the main characters, and then they're just like, nope, off to the sequel races here. We're gonna forget about Eccleston and
oh, that's right. He was the other guy. Thank you.
He was Destro.
My bad. I'll show his comment. I forgot he wasn't Serpentor. He was the other bad guy in the G.I. Joe movie. He's right. I forget his name.
What comment?
King of the Golden State. By the way, welcome to the chat, King. Happy to have you.
We got royalty in the house.
Keeping us.
We also got glitter and duct tape up in here, having a lot of chats going on here. Love Rocky.
Yeah, there's
Chris
nothing
Barrett's
wrong with
got
it.
a lot of love for some Rocky 3, apparently.
I like glitter. I like duct tape.
It is the best.
There we go.
Rocky Balboa is not the worst Rocky. Rocky 5 is the worst Rocky.
Oh,
and the second worst Rocky is Rocky 3. Rocky Balboa is better than Rocky 3 as a film.
I thought
there are wonderful things to love about Clubber Lang,
Rocky.
But overall, as a movie, that movie is terribly paced and painful to watch.
Did you really just say Rocky and Bullwinkle?
I said Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle is the worst Rocky.
What's the matter with you?
No.
All right, Joey
that's my
Gladstone.
Uncle Joey. That's my Uncle Joey. You guys can cut it out.
That was really lame.
Hey, settle down. That's what real 90s kids would do is quote Full House. Right?
There it is. Thank you.
High five. High five. Right here.
Other way. There you go. There you go. Get your hand. There you go.
Reach over and smack you in the back of the head for not watching Rocky movies.
You actually smacked me.
Aww. I don't like being an accessory to domestic violence, Mark. Stop listening to me.
Spousal abuse.
It's not spousal abuse.
All right. Well, if you don't want to watch all those movies, apparently just go watch Demolition Man and you'll be all right.
Oh, gee, just watch Demolition Man is definitely a good advice. Demolition Man is great. Demolition Man is where Antonio Brown got his preseason ideas for fashion. Like that guy showed up with a blue dreadlock and a blonde Hogan mustache, and people didn't expect him to lose his mind. I thought it was the most predictable thing in the history of sports.
Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. Funny movie.
You go to Taco Bell.
It's a high five in the future.
That's a great movie.
I would like to treat you to some fine dining. I would like to treat you to Taco Bell. Next week on Outside the Issues, we'll be talking about Demolition Man.
Yeah, let's do that.
And whatever. Oh, yeah, Friday Night Lights. Cast to watch Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night
Titans.
Lights.
Episode 3, everyone.
Look, there's going to be more Minka Kelly in
Minka Kelly.
binging 6 episodes of Friday Night Lights than there will be in 1 episode of Titans this week. I can assure you that much, and I'll be doing both. We will be discussing the first disc of the DVD set, Friday Night Lights Season 1. Disc 1 review.
How many episodes do I have to watch?
Oh, sweet Jesus. All 47,000.
All 4 seasons.
Well, 4 seasons the 4th season's not too long because I think it's like picked up by freaking DirecTV.
Yeah, that's when what's his name? Michael B. Jordan ruined that show.
Yeah, NBC tried to cancel this thing like 5 times. They just wouldn't have it.
Minka Kelly.
Good show.
Minka Kelly is so great in that
Minka
show.
Kelly.
And Scott, what's his name? Plays the QB1, episode 1. He dies, but doesn't die.
6.
He gets his spine and his wiener broken.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna fuck Tim Riggins instead. It's a great show.
Minka
On
Kelly.
the side, you get the jerk from the last season of Breaking Bad too.
4 seasons. 4 seasons of high school football drama.
Yeah, it's like, I think they play football in the first episode, and you really never see a football game played in that show again.
There's a fair amount of football throughout the show.
Some, but I mean, it's definitely like the least important thing going on in the show, even though to those characters, it's the most important thing. It's kind of funny how that works.
And Julie's kind of a hottie too.
Did you really just say going to the football games was the worst part of high school?
Yeah.
That was the best part of high school.
I don't like football.
I got kicked out of so many games.
I know you did.
Dropping Demolition Man facts in the chat now. This is awesome. He's like, "Do you see any cows around here? You're eating a rat burger," says Rob Worst. King of the Golden State says Demolition Man is actually today's society with Demolition Man. Watch it again. Oh, I'll definitely watch it again. It's an awesome movie.
I will watch it every chance I get. Demolition Man is a whole movie.
Sandra Bullock and Rob Schneider.
It's like the only good movie Sandra Bullock's ever been in.
I hate
Seashells.
Now I don't even know. I've never even heard of this movie.
You've never heard of Demolition Man?
No, I really haven't.
Oh, Wesley Snipes is a bad guy.
Yeah, you see Wesley Snipes and Stallone fight in the future. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's great. They wake up in the future and
Dennis Leary. Tremors. That's a good one too. I'll watch 1 and 2. I can't guarantee anything after 2. It's hard to watch after that.
I don't know. This is just the only ones.
I've never seen any other Tremors except for the first Tremors. And
what?
Tremors 2 is a
Dude,
solid
there's like
watch.
6 of them.
Yeah, I got all I needed out of the first one.
You need to go back. You need to watch them all.
At least watch the second.
All right.
Second
Tremors
one's
2
solid.
it is.
The other 2 aren't in this collection, but I've got them. You need to watch them. They're amazing.
I do
will
love me some
take
Tremors.
your word for it.
Tremors.
If you like Bert from the first Tremors, you'll love the entire series.
Is Bert in everyone?
He's the only one who's stuck around for all of them.
Yeah, I mean, just I didn't watch Tremors 2 because I looked at the cast and it was a complete talent drop off.
Well, they just got rid of Kevin Bacon and Reba. You'd be fine otherwise.
I love me some Kevin Bacon.
I like
to say Reba.
Oh, I fucking hate Reba.
Reba?
No.
Speed sucks, man. Go back and rewatch that movie.
McIntyre is a little treasure. All right.
Reba McEntire is the star of the worst sitcom in the history of sitcoms.
I wish she was my little grandma or something.
The show Reba makes me long for the Torkelsons.
Like you know
God.
Dad or something. That's my movie grandma.
I just got Seawood with the Torkelsons reference.
Torkelsons. I haven't heard that name in 20 years.
I love
it's better than Reba. That's all you need to know about the Torkelsons.
You want Reba as your grandma?
Yeah,
No.
you're sitting on the couch.
I want my grandma to be able to sing.
Your grandma is trying to call
Apparently,
me.
Mark hates Reba too.
You're sleeping
he
on the
doesn't.
couch.
Your grandma wants to call me Kitty.
Yeah, you know what? Let her call you Kitty.
Yes,
You're sleeping on the couch for saying the
there's a
reboot's
Katie.
awesome.
Oh,
Look,
There's a
look,
Katie.
Kitty. Look, Kitty. Settle down,
And there's
Kitty.
Caitlin in the family. She wants to call me Kitty. I told her no.
You can phase through walls then.
That
No,
would be like the
not
This is
taking
perfect
it.
down at holidays. You can just
That
like
70s
walk right
show.
through the wall.
Oh,
Say-
yeah, Thomas
Speed
Smith
is not a
explained
good
in the
movie
chat.
coming
And
to
Glitter
Golden
and Duct Tape.
There you
Glitter
go.
Glitter and
Yeah.
Duct Tape didn't know there was more than one Trimmers movie. Yeah, most people don't.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah, there are.
There's
There sure
6.
There's
Man,
one that's Antarctic for some reason. I don't know how the Tremors go
6.
through fucking
No,
ice, but they do.
Yeah,
There's
they must
6
not be
Tremors.
cold-blooded.
Speed isn't it like 2 or 3 movies?
There's a few speeds. There's
Yeah.
Speed
There
2,
was-
Cruise
Tremors is
Control,
good.
which is
Tremors
garbage.
There
I
was
love the first
Speed. There was the
Tremors
second Speed, and then there was a
is
Speed
so
reboot,
bad.
I believe.
It's all about City Bus, more City Bus, and City Bus with a bomb.
Well, the first one's about a city
Whoa.
bus with a bomb.
Wasn't there one on a boat?
That's the
Yeah,
second one.
Speed
Cruise
2,
Control.
Cruise Control.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock on a boat.
What's
And it's like, Keanu's not in this movie. Why would I watch it?
I feel like there was a third
And
one.
then
that
she was in a
direct to
movie
video,
called-
But I could
She
be
was in a
wrong.
movie called Speed the Internet. It was called The Net. That was
yeah.
a really bad movie too.
Tremors to me is a lot like shark movies. They're so bad, they're amazing.
They're land sharks.
I feel like there's probably like a Joe Bob review of Tremors out there, and I need to see it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Uncanny Kyle Walker in the chat.
I watched
We just
Phantasm.
I mean, the
about some
chat
dread
is blowing
earlier.
up right now. I'm gonna say that right now.
I think Phantasm's going to be on my watch list for Halloween this year. I definitely want to watch 1 and 2.
We'll let you borrow it after we give you your pet.
I already got it. I love me some Phantasm.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch.
by the way, Carson's Pet's still happening.
Yeah.
Wait
I'm-
for Baltimore, everyone. Carson.
I'm gonna watch exclusively
Gonna have a
heartwarming
friend.
cartoons in the month of October.
Heartworm review them.
Yeah, and I'm like, you guys want to hear about a ghost story? Okay, how about All Dogs Go to Heaven? Great ghost story.
It is a great ghost story.
It
We
is.
have that on Laser.
True Man Shoe reviews Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey. On
We also
Oh man, isn't that the movie where they like threw a bunch of cats off of rocks and killed them for fun?
Go.
yeah, I'm gonna go run area 50 run.
Synchronicity, everyone.
Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey.
Dude, Homeward Bound is amazing. However, Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, is a much better film.
What is it Milo and Otis? It's Milo and Otis
Yes,
is the one
it's
where they
Milo and
killed
Otis.
all the actual
Cat
dogs and
dog.
cats. Where they like threw the cats in the river to get the shots. Am I right about that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, I'm gonna need somebody in the chat to help me out here because I believe
really
the
hope
movie
that's
Milo
not
and Otis
It's
is
ruined my
actually
childhood.
produced by a Japanese company that filmed everything. Yeah, Comics Must Explained. That was Milo and Otis.
Oh wow!
Milo
I
and
never
Otis.
watched that one.
God,
I will
Milo
never
and
watch
Otis.
that one.
Oh man, they got a lot of shots of like the cats like jumping off of the cliffs and things because they actually threw cats off cliffs.
Yeah, they
Laser
did.
disc, baby.
Nice.
I don't have a laser disc player, but I want that.
Got a lot of love for Phantasm 2 in the chat. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one just to
Wait,
watch
wait.
repetitively. Oh my god.
Oh, wait. It gets better.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and it gets even
It
better.
looks like a horror movie except with pets.
Lady and the Tramp.
All in laser disc.
Two
If you-
Italian men watching dogs fucking in an alley.
Yeah.
If you didn't see my rant on Instagram,
Oh.
the guy who sent this to me on eBay really screwed up.
Ah,
Rated G for
freaking
God.
Jason Smith.
Oh, for God.
Jason Smith. He'll ship your comics, but don't ask him to ship your laser
Got
discs.
that Milo and Otis. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah, you're a huge supporter of cat death. Just
Oh, God.
just
I'm a
heads up.
cat mom. I'm a bad cat mom.
Wait, did they really kill the cat?
Oh hell yeah, they killed that cat over and over and over again. They threw it into a raging river.
Oh, God.
The same cat?
No, different cats, bro. Like you can't get the shot at just killing one cat. You got to kill as many cats as it takes. This is Hollywood.
God.
Yeah, good point.
I will definitely never watch Milo and Otis now.
Oh God.
Been playing on it. Now I'm gonna stay away from it on purpose.
Well, you can't look. I'm going to watch nothing but Milo and Otis for the month of October.
My Rob Worst comment says Teddy Ruxpin traumatized me as a child. Got lost at Toys R Us, and an entire row of anamorphic Ruxpins went off hauntingly. PTSD today. That sounds terrible, Rob. I'm sorry, but that's funny.
What you needed to do is go back to those Teddy Ruxpins and put Black Sabbath tapes in them.
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch Kids. Nope.
Pokemon cards.
I was busy collecting action figures.
Don't you have a flight to catch or something?
Yeah, I gotta go catch my flight. I'll see you guys later.
Oh man.
He's gonna go die in Area 51.
It's Area 52. Let's get that shit straight.
Gone too soon.
Look, if he gets
Good
shot
real,
by the
Mark.
feds, hopefully he'll get Nightwing 93 back to life by some sort of sweet alien. Come back wearing Mark as a suit.
As a skin suit.
Yeah. You'll be like, Mark, is that you? And you'll be like, no, it's me, Glib Glop 4. I'm just wearing Mark as a skin suit.
I voted for Kodos.
Oh, Rob Worst, I would buy Teddy Ruxpin just to burn it. They must all burn.
Teddy again?
That's-
Poor Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I didn't have a Teddy Ruxpin, but when the Furby came out,
Oh,
right?
God.
Those things are evil.
They are evil. I'll tell you what, like
Each other. You know
we had the opportunity, like the Furbies were going for like crazy money, like crazy money. We had opportunity to buy 2 retail, so I got 2 of them, and then like the batteries died in the thing, and it was in my closet. And we're talking years later. We're talking like 8 years after the purchase of this Furby, right? The batteries had been dead forever, and the damn thing came to life in my closet in the middle of the night and scared the ever living crap out of me. Oh, Mark's back.
It's
Is
just
that-
bodied hand.
Is that Mark now? Oh, Glib Glob. We'll miss the real Mark, but I'm pretty sure you can eat way more food.
I must eat nutrients.
You just threw that on my knee.
Catch the aliens.
Oh my gosh. I'm still injured. He's throwing things at me. That's
Guys,
mean.
we've been streaming for an hour and a half, and we finally have crossed the barrier of double-digit viewers. I don't think we should stop. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I'm trying to think of other movies you need to review in October, Drew. Just wholesome, family-friendly movies.
Beethoven's Second? Sure.
Oh, fucking
Airbud.
Charles
I'm
Grodin.
down for some Charles Grodin and slobbery dogs.
Oh,
Just dogs
God.
like random sports. And then, we've got Air Buddies, and apparently now they can talk all of a sudden.
They got
What is this
they're in
nonsense?
outer space too.
Yeah, they're in
Drew
outer
Mack-
space talking.
Look who's talking too.
Trust me, my daughter's obsession with Air Buddies movies when she was much younger, it was like it got to the point where we ran out of Air Buddies movies for her to rent from the Red Box, and like we would look at like where they actually still had DVDs in Best Buy, and she'd have to get the original Air Bud and like Golden Receiver, and oh man, what a fucking drudgery those terrible dog movies are. It's like they're all happy and they're heartwarming, and it's not like you don't get the Marley and
love
Me
those
where you got the
horrible
dead dog at
movies.
the end. But at the same time, there's no dead dog at the end, so there's like really no
Yeah.
reason to watch the
Why
damn thing.
would you
What?
hope for a dead
Yeah, I was
dog?
You
like,
don't
what?
hope-
What do you hope?
You
for the
no,
dog
you
to
don't
die?
hope for the dead
He's a
dog.
sports champion. He can play any sport. That's why he's fantastic.
Yeah, he can play any
including
sport for, like,
volleyball,
8 years
which makes
until
no
he
sense.
naturally
What, you
dies.
want to see him
Volleyball
die
and
and get
baseball,
put
which
in the
makes no
Sports
sense.
Hall of Fame?
I don't want to watch
dog
him die
plays
at all, but
baseball.
all I'm saying is when you get a movie like Marley and Me, the death of the dog is the dramatic
God.
point that you need as an adult human being to be emotionally moved by the movie. I can't
You
get
like
emotionally moved by the fact that the one stops farting in its
You
spacesuit. I'm
cried.
sorry. There's nothing to that for me. Real Comic Book Talk hopped in the chat. What's going on, Real Comic Book Talk? They do some fantastic content over there.
Those guys
You guys are
awesome.
not subscribed to Real
Yeah,
Comic
I
Book Talk. Be sure to check them out. They are
feel
always
bad.
putting up great videos.
Just Veronica did
Who's
that.
Better videos, trailer reactions. reactions to all the stuff that we talk about here on the Comic Core. You can get that stuff at Real Comic Book Talk. Those are some great guys over there. Be sure to go over there, subscribe to them, hit that notification bell because they're always putting out great stuff. What's going on, guys? Can't wait to see you guys in Baltimore. I know you'll all be there.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Taxi Driver last night.
Taxi Driver.
I saw De Niro's name dropped in the chat there by King of the Golden State. He's talking about Midnight Run with Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro. So I was just like, yeah, I watched a little bit of Taxi Driver. I'm probably going to watch the rest before I go to bed tonight. But yeah, it's such a good movie. Sometimes I love those gritty 70s movies, just the way they're shot and presented. Just awesome.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that's done the same way it was done back then.
No.
And when you see things that are done that way, they come off really great. Tarantino does a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Where he you know, when he did The Hateful Eight, he used a lot of the techniques that they used in the old Westerns to, you know, the way they were shot. The technology he used was all a throwback style. And you don't see a whole lot of that in like gritty crime dramas and things of that nature. That's kind of what has me the most excited, and I'm kind of upset with myself for being as hyped about it as I am. But the Joker looks really good from a technical standpoint. The way it was shot, it looks like a 70s movie. It doesn't look like anything that we're getting right now. I'll be the first one to tell you, I probably will not like what they do with the lore in that movie, but I am excited to see the way it's shot, the way it's presented, and the way it's enacted. And I think that a lot of what's drawing me in as an interested party is the way that this film was produced, the way that it's shot, the angles that they use, the lighting that they use. That gives you a real sense of mood in the trailer. And for a movie that you haven't seen really anything about yet, I'm excited for that. Anybody else excited for the Joker?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can't wait. Like you said, like the lore, I'm just going to put that to the side because the DCU or whatever you want to call it.
It's pronounced DCU.
Exactly. So most of the lore in that is so screwed up. I could care less about the lore, the continuity of the DCU at this point. I just want to see a great movie. And I think, you know, based on what a lot of the hearsay is on it so far, I think it's going to be a great movie, so I can't wait for it. I'm getting hyped.
Yeah, I got some theories as the Joker is exactly what's going on. I'm excited, though. Definitely something that's a different take than what we've seen. Clearly very different compared to the Leto Joker. So I'm excited to see what's possibly going to happen. And I feel like this might be a film that even non-comic book fans would be like, yeah, definitely worthwhile to see.
I think that it's probably geared more towards non-comic book fans than it is comic book fans.
Yeah.
And that might be my issue with it, is that I love the continuity. I love the lore. Yeah. That is part of what I nerd out about with the MCU, is like, oh man, all this is connected to each other. All these things work together. If I'm reading a book that came out last week and they've got a note about this happened in Amazing Spider-Man number 352 in 1970, like that is the kind of thing that gets my nerd radar going. Whoa, I'm excited about this. And that for me was the thing about the Joker that I'm just like, this, it has no reason for being. All right. I didn't care for the Venom movie. I know a lot of people had a lot of fun with it, but my whole thought process on it is, why are we going to make a Venom movie without Spider-Man in it? There are a lot of things you can do with Venom after you've established him that make him interesting. The Lethal Protector stuff, the Donny Cates stuff that's going on right now. There's a lot of cool stuff in with Venom, Maximum Carnage. But my whole thought process on that is, we're going to do an origin movie without Spider-Man for a character who is 98% Spider-Man. With Joker is 98% Batman, right? And I think that the other 2% being mystery really lets him exist on a plane where no other characters really exist. I think Joker has the opportunity to be as despicable as he is because you don't ground him in reality. And grounding him in reality, in my opinion, is something that will really take away or detract from what you can do with the character. I have all the early reviews say that Joker is a hell of a performance and will shock you. And my issue with that is, as far as shocking me, it would have to be incredibly visceral and brutal. And I honestly kind of see that as kind of like a hack kind of deal. Like, you're going to go ahead and make it over the top brutal just to bring people in. So I have a real dilemma on my hands because I don't know what to think about this movie going into it. And that really has me at a disadvantage, because I'll tell you this much right now. Before Suicide Squad came out, I saw one trailer. I said, that shit's going to be a mess. And I called it. Before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I had friends of mine who were not normies, but more casuals, who said, I don't know, raccoon in a tree, I don't really buy that. And I looked them in the eye. I said, this is going to be one of the most successful movies that the MCU does. Keep your eyes peeled. People said Black Panther would be a step back with financial success. They said the exact same thing about Captain Marvel. And I told them both. I said, hey, you're wrong. These movies are going to overperform. I said the same thing about Shazam versus Captain Marvel. I said, I bet you Captain Marvel makes more money, but I bet you I'll enjoy Shazam more as a movie. I called all these things. BVS being garbage, called it. Justice League being a mess, called it. Joker, I can't call this thing. Like, I'm looking at it. It's getting great reviews for the performances from a lot of normies, and it's getting a lot of love from the nerd culture, but I can't call it.
Yeah, especially with the R rating attached to it, that's going to hurt a little bit of sales. But yeah, we'll see. I hope it succeeds. I definitely want to see more out of Warner and DC, because hey, those are our characters. I mean, I definitely want to see what in the world else they're going to put out. But I was going to ask you guys, like, since Venom, as much as we criticize it, it was a hit. Let's be honest, it made money.
Oh, it was crazy popular.
I think it's going to be successful. What other single solo villain movies do you think they'll make out of this? Because I think if the Joker succeeds, they're going to start diving in the well of villains.
I honestly think that that's the bigger problem. Kat, you seem like you had something to say.
I just wanted to shout out King of the Golden State, because I have the very same thought that he does. He says he might want to watch King of Comedy before the Joker, just in case. Feeling I've got the same theory going on with that. If you've never actually watched King of Comedy, I would highly suggest it. I think that the Joker is going to be very similar to that. So no real spoilers there, but
definitely want to shout out Real Comic Book Talk as well. He said DC said that they are not worried or concerned about making a connected universe. I don't think that is necessarily true. I think that they're not putting too much pressure on it, because every attempt that they've made so far has been an abysmal failure. And a lot of that has to do with putting too much on their plate at the same time. I think that, honestly, though, if this is successful for DC and they go ahead and they make a Lex Luthor movie and that thing bombs, they're going to be like, well, what are we doing wrong? I don't think that you get a lot of people who say, oh, let's make it rated R because that worked for Deadpool. Not everything's Deadpool. You're going to get people saying, well, let's make a rated R villain movie because it worked for Joker. Well, not everything is Joker. I think DC needs to take a step back and kind of reassess where they want things to be and take time to plan it out. Honestly, I think that you can do a DC Universe movie and you can pick and choose your continuity of what you want to be in there as simply as making a Booster Gold flick. Like, if you make a Booster Gold movie where he's got to save the world by hopping through time and fixing certain things in DC continuity, that gives you the opportunity to introduce whoever you want, however you want, whenever you want, at whatever pace that you want, in a way that keeps it light and fun. You can keep it PG-13 and put all the scary heavy hitters in there that you want, but you can also keep it light, and the tone of a Booster Gold movie would kind of be the perfect way to introduce different facets of the DC universe over time into one cohesive story. I think that they're not as interested in making a cohesive universe is because they tried and they put Zack Snyder in charge, and it was the worst decision that they could have made, when all they really needed to do was hire Paul Dini and be like, hey, Dini, do me a favor. Can you get us an outline here? We want to do 3 or 4 solo movies and a 2-part Justice League flick. How do we do that? And he would have wrote it all down for them and been like, well, just take these episodes of this cartoon that I made and just fucking redo it. And it would have been fine. Comics Misexplained says he's fine with Elseworlds. I'm fine with Elseworlds too, but let me know what we're getting into. I don't know. What do you guys think? Kat, we had this conversation last week after we went off the air, where we said if you had free reign over an IP, right, to do whatever you want with it, what would you do with it? And that's like my idea for the DCEU would be launch it all through Booster Gold. There's a way to take a tertiary character who nobody's going to really care if you screw it up one little way or another little way and introduce everything through one big overarching story. But I have a lot of other ideas for other things. What's one story, one character, one IP that if you had to do it different with, who would it be? What would you do differently?
So we're not going to focus on, any of our stereotypical characters. We're not going to focus on any of our Marvel or any of our DC with this. So I'm thinking indie. I'm thinking something that we could do under a very tight budget, because, let's be honest, tight budget film, keep the script tight, small cast. I'm thinking Snot Girl. I know nobody else really loves that book. No one else is really reading that book in this whole crew, but it's funny. It's crazy. It's very, I feel like it's very relatable for a lot of people if they actually give it a chance. I feel like a lot of the same insecurities that she deals with are the same kind of like crazy headcanon that I feel like a lot of people deal with, that they don't want to admit that they deal with. And I feel like that could be pretty spectacular. I feel like I could do some justice to Snot Girl, where I don't feel like I could do the same kind of justice to, let's say, DC character like Batman or Wonder Woman, which clearly that's going to need a for real team behind it who 100% knows what they're doing. So I'm just saying it right now. I guarantee there's no way that I could pull off something like that and be proud of it. I mean, let's be honest here. Let's go with something that we know, something that we could 100% go with. I feel like if you get a for real team behind one of these characters and we start a actual Batman and Robin, that could be a great way of restarting this whole DCU if they wanted to do a connected storyline, which I highly doubt they're going to go with anytime soon. But I feel like that could be a fun way to try to connect other characters where I feel like they rush too much into it with Justice League. I feel like clearly Marvel had several years of build up where DC was like, hey, Marvel has this, so we're going to push it all together. And it didn't work. So I'm excited about everything else that's going on.
Carson, do you have any IP that you hold dear that you think that you have a great idea for, or a great way to revitalize or move it forward? Or I mean, maybe it's Nova. You love Nova and you want to introduce Nova into the MCU. Anything as simple as that, like anything that you think that you have a better idea for than it's being currently used.
My vein's kind of the same as Kat's. Like if I was gonna like handpick a book and make it into some sort of TV or movie or something like that, I would just say like, something that's, in my opinion, I don't think it's in production or anyone's doing anything with it. I'd like to see a true animated series of some sort. I always liked Chew. I think it would make a phenomenal cartoon, like an adult cartoon, basically. So if I was going to pick one property out there, because FX is finally doing Y the Last Man, maybe at the end of next year. We'll see. That is like always my go-to pick, but it's finally happening apparently. But,
well, we can ask Brian K. Vaughan about it in Baltimore.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get that opportunity. I can't wait for that one. But yeah, my other one I'd like to see adapted into something has always been Chew, because I thought it was a very underrated series. Absolutely love it. Would like to see something more come out of it at some point.
Great Legend would love to be a consultant on your Farmhand crossover episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's hidden chogs inside Farmhand, so you got to have that crossover at some point.
I think that those are both great examples of the kind of idea that we were talking about last week. And mine, beyond, taking the Booster Gold angle at rebooting the DCEU, is I thought I have the best idea for the X-Men as far as a movie franchise. And I think that all you really need to do is 110% rip off Harry Potter, right? X-Men is about a bunch of weirdos with powers in a school where all the teachers used to fight against evil. And that's exactly what X-Men is. You don't focus on Storm, right? But you make her Professor McGonagall, right? She's going to be there. She's going to be your teacher. She's kind of scary as a teacher. But then you realize 3 movies in that, oh, she's a total badass and she fought Apocalypse. You can focus on the kids. You get Dustin from Stranger Things to play Glob Herman, right? And you cast a group of kids that are all going to grow up together. Then you can pull all the youth audience into it. You let these new mutants grow up together, become the team, and then by the time we're in their 4th year of school, the school is in shambles and they're fighting alongside their teachers, fighting actual threats. You take the troll scene from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, right? First one, there's a troll destroying the bathroom, kind of a dummy, but highly destructive. You make that fucker the Juggernaut, right? And then, a plot for the side plot for Act 1 is Juggernaut's in the school, right? And you wrap that up with a nice little bow and you move on to something else. All along, there's a bigger brooding problem happening in the background. And by the time you get to the 5th year or the 5th iteration of these movies, it's a $1 billion franchise. Kids can't wait to get their hands on their Xavier school, figure out which Xavier schoolhouse they're in, or, of those natures. Oh, what's your power base? Those kind of things. You can take all of that wonder that went into building the Harry Potter world, which was built in the background while they focused on children in school, and you can do the exact same damn thing with the X-Men. So I just made you $8 billion, Disney. I'll accept
Pretty
my
much.
cut whenever you're ready.
I'd watch that movie.
Who would your main character be in that movie? Would
You
you
know
have
what?
like Kitty Pryde come to the school and like see the school through her eyes, or do you just? go, like,
I honestly think Kitty
Wow.
could be like an upperclassman, right? Kitty and Jubilee could be like upperclassmen, right? And you're going to run into them occasionally, but like Kitty Pryde would be more of a Cedric Diggory character. And honestly, if you wanted to go into it and focus on like some of these mutants that were introduced in the Morrison run, I think that would be the way to do it. I think you take Quentin Quire, you focus on Quentin Quire, you put you get Hellion in there, right? Kind of a Draco Malfoy kind of dickhead character. He's a good guy overall, but like, if he had the chance to hang out with Magneto, he'd probably be doing that.
So that Phantom X.
You could put Phantom X in there too. Phantom X could be the weird one-off character they meet in episode 3 that makes no goddamn sense. But everybody's like, oh, I want that action figure. Yeah, you do, because it's Phantom X. You can put the world in there. You can put, Cable coming back from the future and taking a group of these kids as the New Mutants and forming X-Force. Like, you can do all of that stuff. You can do all of it. You can even do, like, the Mutant Massacre as something that the kids learn about in school that is like in the restricted part of the library where they're not supposed to study these things. They, one of them gets into Cerebro and they find out about the Mutant Massacre and the Morlocks and all this nonsense. Like, the world will unfold itself through the act of these children growing up in this environment. And I think that that's the best way to do it. When you look at a story that has basically been weird students with weird teachers in a weird school, there's a multi-billion-dollar franchise that just laid the blueprint out for you.
I highly agree. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I just want Glob Herman.
Glob.
Glob
That would
Herman
be
was great.
Glob
Glob Herman was the only good part of that Age of X-Man. Did you guys read any of that Age of X-Man?
No.
Oh
Skip.
man, I'll
Hard
tell you what.
skip.
I just want some
Gen
Sauron.
Next.
I want
Gen
some
Next is like
dinosaurs.
they're all in school, right? And they all have had their minds wiped. They're all in this like pocket universe where X-Man has made it as utopian as he possibly could through removing love and free will and things of that nature. So it's kind of more of a character study. Each book is kind of a character study on a different group. And there's a lot of good stuff that was done in that series, just the wrong framing. And it really didn't work in a lot of ways. But Gen Next was so good because it's basically Glob Herman being like, well, this wax that encases me, it's preventing them from wiping my mind, right? So I will keep a note of all the things I remember about real reality, right? And I will help my friends become more aware as the story goes on. They all start getting in trouble, and some of them fall in with the wrong element and all this, and it all comes to a head, and then all their minds are wiped. And at the end, it's Glob Herman back there being like, oh, geez, like I tried. All I did was get my friends in trouble, cause destruction, and nothing is right still because my mind still knows what reality is. It's so sad and depressing, but at the same time, it's just Glob Herman at his greatest. He's just the kind of hero that you want to get behind, even though you know that he's never going to pull anything off. So check out Gen Next. And the prison one with Bishop, Prisoner X, Comics Mix Explained said that was pretty good. It was pretty good. They all had something about them to like. The one where they were like the enforcer team, like the cops. There was a romance budding between Psylocke and Blob, and that was fun. There's a lot of stuff in there that could have been done a whole lot better, but there's a lot of substance there that's worth diving into if you're an X-head. King of the Golden State says it was trash. Yeah, but I mean, some of the best things to watch are trash. Like I'm a big fan of Friday Night Lights, and I would be hard pressed to explain it as anything other than trash.
Next week, Friday Night Lights. Can't wait. Clear eyes, full hearts, good reviews,
and haikus.
We're not even going to talk Titans. We're going to talk Friday Night Lights.
I mean, we might talk about how Minka Kelly's in both of them.
Yeah. Just run the show 3 hours.
Minka Kelly.
The 3-hour Minka Kelly breakdown.
Minka Kelly.
Oh, Minka.
Minka Kelly. You know, Minka Kelly is also in The Roommate. Just saying.
I will be watching The Roommate.
Minka has. Is that like Darkseid is? Like Minka Kelly is?
Minka has it.
Minka
Whatever
has.
it is.
Minka has.
Yes,
whatever Minka has,
that's
I
our
want.
Shirt. That's our shirt now. Minka
I said
has.
instead of Cheap Trick, it'll just be Minka Kelly all down the shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if I can get Minka Kelly to do some cheap tricks. I think it just broke Cat.
All right. On that note, I think we're about at 2 hours. I think it's about time to sign it off.
Oh, wow. We had a great time tonight shooting the shit with you guys. It's damn near 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. We started this thing later than we normally start, and we're excited to have you guys all here in the chat. 13 of y'all still watching. Comics Misexplained hopped in here. Rob Worst has been chopping it up all night. Joey Bag of Sevens, man, good to see you in here, buddy. King of the Golden State as well. Glitter and Duct Tape. Real Comic Book Talk. Happy to have all you guys in here talking it over with us. Make sure that you guys all catch up on Friday Night Lights and come and check us out next week. Chad doesn't know it yet, but we're going to change this into Outside of Issues, a dedication to Minka Kelly.
Can't
This
wait.
has
Minka
been
Kelly.
Outside the Issues on Minka Kelly Core.
Minka Kelly.
See, what you got anything coming up this week on your channel, buddy?
Minka Kelly.
Yeah, Minka Kelly.
And
Minka
that's
Kelly. Minka
Cat,
Kelly.
we got Inflatable Sharks. Who's going to be starring in that Inflatable Sharks movie? You guys nailed down that casting yet? Because you could probably get Minka Kelly.
Dude, I wish we could get Minka Kelly. Minka Kelly, if you were watching this and you want to fight off some sharks, or
If Minka Kelly was watching this, she'd have
some
filed
sharks.
her restraining
She's
order
not.
far long ago.
She's not, but Minka Kelly, you can have the starring role in Inflatable Sharks, 100%. I'm sure that'll get the Drew Manchu watch.
You'll get paid in more.
It certainly will.
Get
And
paid
coming up
in
on the Comic Core,
sharks.
keep your eyes peeled for Drew Manchu's comic book reviews in
Of Minka
haikus.
Kelly.
I will be talking about Minka Kelly in haiku format. Yeah, there's going to be haikus. We're going to class up this
Minka
joint with a little bit of poetry. Maybe that'll bring the Minka Kellys of the world out.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap us up. We have officially gone off the rails and got ourselves ready for tomorrow. Be sure to check us out tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, live on the Comic Core. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that
See,
notification
subscribe.
bell. You can hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down as long as we know you watched. Come back and check the description later. Kat's going to load up some information about where you can find that fan film, Friday the 13th Vengeance.
Yep.
Which I saw a little bit of, but I will be going back to check that out as well. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping through, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. True Manchu, baby.
Bye.
Gone too soon.
Yes, and the broadcast. This always